Up to this point, losing scoring margin, 6.3 points on average in those 3 losses. What was different this game? Wheels just falling off?
Yeah. I thought BYU really played well to start with. I mean, I thought, anytime that we tried to put a little pressure on them, they answered the call. They converted some 4th downs where we had really tight coverage. Took a really well executed play and a good throw, and I thought they just made plays. I thought their quarterback played exceptionally well, took care of the ball. They didn't turn the ball over, and so you got to give them a lot of credit. We had a hard time, getting off the field defensively. We've been playing really good defense, and we struggled tonight. Had a hard time getting them stopped. Like I said, anytime we got them into a 3rd down or a 4th down, they executed at a really high level and made a hell of a play. And we just had a hard time getting them stopped and getting off the field. And then offensively, we moved the ball at times against a football team like BYU that's playing at this caliber. You've got to score touchdowns. So we had to kick 2 field goals, and that created some separation, early in the game. And then we were trying to play catch up and played right into their hands.
Why do you think the offense has struggled as much as it has on the road this year?
That's a good question. That's something we're going to need to look at. I don't know. It's we had some snap issues today. It seems like we've had that from time to time. Obviously we've struggled to score points. We've got to do a better job of doing that. And some of it's been lack of scoring in the red zone. When we've gotten in the red zone, we've had to kick too many field goals. I think that's really, really important for us to, we have opportunities to score. We've got to score touchdowns, and particularly on the road.
You guys made a change on the offensive line, at least in the first half. I guess, what was the thought process behind that?
Yeah, I just felt like we were trying to find the best combination. We've had some injuries up front, and so it's been kind of musical chairs at times, and we were just trying to find the best combination to give us the best chance to win the game.
Hoover had a game today that wasn't up to his normal level of play. What did you see in his performance?
I saw him miss some uncharacteristic throws at times. There were a couple of throws, obviously, I'm sure he'd like to have back and that he normally makes. We've just got to execute better. That's the bottom line. I thought BYU did a good job of mixing some things up and keeping us from getting too settled in. We needed to run the ball effectively, and we struggled to do it consistently, to take a little bit of pressure off our quarterback. But we just had didn't have a good night. And like I said, I thought BYU played exceptionally well. It was a motivated team. Thought they executed well. Thought the quarterback really played well. Made a bunch of plays. We had some issues in the first half. You guys were slipping all over the place. That was something that we tried to remedy at halftime. Came in and changed our shoes a little bit, and felt like the footing was a little better in the second half. But clearly, like I said, BYU, I thought they played, played really clean football, and that's a good football team.
What were your thoughts on Bear Bachmeyer and how he played?
Same thing. I just thought he executed. Thought he made, critical plays in critical parts of the game. When we got him in 3rd down or 4th down, he executed at a really high level. And guys, he threw and caught the ball well, ran the football well, didn't turn it over. Played like a veteran quarterback.
What did you think of the environment here, the atmosphere?
Yeah, it's good. It was a good crowd. I know it's a tough place to play. It was loud. You could tell, BYU, was motivated, I think, from last week, probably disappointed in the way that they played last week, and really played at a high level today.
The program's 20-15 since 2023. What would you say to the fan base that might be getting a little anxious that the program isn't trending in the right direction?
Look, I could also sit here and say that we're whatever we are in the last 13 games, or I could sit here and say we are what we are. People can say what they want to say.
2 years ago, complete inverse, right? You get TCU completely dominated this game at home. Now you see the inverse here. What can you justify, or what changes over 2 years to have that inverse?
Well, I think they've got a good team. They've got a veteran team, that's played at a high level, you know, and they've done it consistently. And, you know, we had a game that same thing happened to them 2 years ago. The game kind of got away from them, and game kind of got away from us tonight. And they rebounded, and we will do the same.
From a personnel talent standpoint, does it match up well when you were watching the All-22 and the film and eval? Did you guys feel like you matched up well?
Much different team this year than that team. I mean, a lot more physical. This group is more mature, more physical, different team than they had 22.
Another slow start. You mentioned BYU is clearly motivated. Do you feel like the team brought the right amount
Yeah,
of start?
yeah. No, our guys were excited to play. I can promise you, and you know, we just didn't get off to a great start. You know, BYU took the ball down and scored quickly on us and got us on our heels pretty quickly. We had a hard time recovering.
Anything else? Thanks, sir.
Okay, thanks, guys.